If you have ever felt nervous about telling your friends and family that you are a YouTuber, well, I've got some pretty good news for you today. You don't have to tell them. Today's guest is building a YouTube channel in secret, and we are going to be hearing all about her journey on YouTube, how she got started, the highs, the lows, challenges that she's faced, and how she's overcoming them, and also how she stays consistent on YouTube, and much, much more. So if you're trying to grow your channel and maybe you feel a little bit nervous about it all, you are going to absolutely love hearing from Elle, the creator behind Elle Naturally. Elle is in the waiting room here today. I am so excited to chat with you. Here we are. Hello. Thank you so much for joining me today, Elle. What an absolute bloody legend.
Thank you so much for having me. So excited.
I'm so
I'm nervous.
excited. I'm so excited. And I have had a little bit of a curveball thrown at me today. My microphone's not connected. I was freaking out just a bit before chatting with Marianne. So thank you so much for your support, Marianne. But yes, all is well in the world. I was saying to Elle, like, I often feel a little bit nervous before these live streams as well. But then the moment my guest arrives in the interview suite, it's all very exciting. So yeah, nerves are a real thing. And I'm excited to talk about that today because I think it's something that doesn't get spoken about enough. So yeah, it's amazing. To get us kicked off today, Elle, would you let us know what your channel is all about and what made you want to start a YouTube channel? And also, while Elle's sharing that, for everyone who's watching today, I have a question for you. What's your YouTube channel about and how long you've been creating content on YouTube? Let us know in the chat. So Elle, fill us in on Elle.
Absolutely. So Elle Naturally is really just, it's me naturally. It's Elle. It's not meant to be specifically about natural hair, skin, and nails, but it kind of was starting out that way a bit. But it really is just to say, hi, it's me. And it's really because I had a lot of problems with my skin and breaking out in acne. And also during the pandemic, I lost hair. So I had a combination of a few different things and then some issues with my nails. And I thought, where is the great resource to get help? Obviously, online and YouTube, I found so many supportive people that were helping me with skin issues and hair and all those things, and a lot of natural solutions as well. And things that I tried to like cook up at home because since we were stuck at home, and things that I tried to order online. And as I was learning for myself, I really wanted to go that extra mile and help other people the way those people helped me silently. And I wanted to do the same for other people and build a community on trying to help other people with skin, especially with skin issues, acne, breakouts, all of those things. And then this other part that I had, which was hair being lost. What's that about? How do I get help for it? It's really an embarrassing thing. And I wanted to teach other people what I was learning and still am learning.
That's amazing. I think that's just so beautiful, such a special thing to share. And I know you've shared with me before, like how meaningful it is to you when you get those comments from people that are helping them. You're helping them so much. I think that's really special. People have said that my microphone is much louder than yours. So let's just have a little back and
Oh
forth. See,
no.
have I?
Okay.
Can people let me know? I've just adjusted things a little bit on my end, but let me know. Oh, the joys, folks. Um, yes, it's great. Hopefully, I have fixed it while you were speaking. Jennifer says, "Yeah, fingers crossed." So Marianne says you wouldn't know you've had a skincare problem. You look so good, Elle. That's very lovely and very true. Yeah, people would have no idea. Do you ever get people commenting saying, you don't really have skin problems?
I got those comments about the hair. And so, honestly, because of my personality and wanting to do everything really well before I present it, it's something I learned in school and university. Make sure it's right and don't present this incorrectly. So, I kind of carried that over when I started my YouTube channel, and I was really making sure I looked okay and I had some things fixed. So now I've learned people really like to see the broken version of you and be with you along the journey. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I don't have tons of pictures of my skin breaking out. Like, I don't have a lot of that. But the hair breakage thing is something I've learned to hide. This is my hair, but it goes down to my butt, and it has for a long time. So the breakage thing is not necessarily like thin balding spots, it's something else, and I've been working on fixing that. So I do receive comments sometimes from people who are really struggling with hair loss. Like, I totally understand and empathize with them completely, and they're like, you hadn't lost hair. So it's good to remind each other and myself that there's different levels of struggle with certain things. And I'm not saying I'm bald in any way whatsoever, but when you know your own body, what it used to be a year or two ago or 5 years ago, and it drastically changes, that's a personal thing. It doesn't mean that everyone has the same result, or I'm saying everyone looks just like this and um, their results will be the same. It's just, it's individual. So that's why it's good to share, but not make sure that you don't think you're the expert and you're the only one and you know everything about it. So yeah, I have
Mm.
received some things, comments for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it's very interesting. That's why on this channel I certainly don't pretend to be an expert on YouTube, which is lucky because what's going on with my microphone situation? But people are saying that it's much better now, and we'll get the old mic up and running again for next week. Fingers crossed. Yes. So, what were some challenges that you faced when you were first starting out on your channel?
I think mentioning that the perfectionism thing is definitely the beginning of it, and being an introverted person and being very shy. I grew up extremely shy, and that's a part of me. I don't think I'm ever really going to be this heavily confident person, but starting out, I had low to no confidence. And I knew I wanted to help people. I really wanted to do this. And also, I wanted to get rid of that fear of being in front of the camera. And I've been behind the camera for years. I'm a photographer. I've been a photographer since I was 13, 14. And being in front of it was so daunting. And I know a lot of people say the same thing. I'm with you. Whoever has that issue, I am there. I'm a really good example of someone who can slowly gain that confidence. So that was the absolute biggest issue. Because I was already a photographer, I already had certain equipment. I'm a Canon girl, so I have a lot of Canon cameras and things like that. And I knew how to adjust things for the video part, and then everything else kind of was like, do a little bit more each time and get a little bit better. But it was definitely just being in front of the camera and not being so scared.
Mm.
And yeah, I'm getting better every year, month,
Yeah.
week.
And you've been on YouTube for, is it 3 years?
Yeah, it's been about 3 years. I wanted to start sooner, and I did a video, I think in 2018, but I got a weird comment and I ran away hiding.
Mm. Yeah,
And
right.
I hid the video and I hid myself. So I was like, I need
Yeah.
to, that if I knew what I knew now, I would have been like, okay, and just kept filming. But I got scared because I was already a little bit like not sure what I was doing.
Mm. Oh, that's so unfortunate. On your first video, was it?
Yes.
That is so unfortunate. Because it's like, it's so a thing that happens. Like the weird comments and stuff like that starts coming, that totally starts coming through. Like the more videos you make, the more weird stuff people say. But that is just so unfortunate that it happened on your first video.
Yeah.
Because I
People
think
are,
that's like one of people's biggest fears when they're just starting out. I don't know how you all in the crowd felt when you were starting out, but I was nervous about like what are people going to say, what are people going to think. Um, so that just sucks that it happened to be on your first video because usually like it takes a while for that stuff to kick in. Yeah, the Creator Classroom says, isn't it funny how confidence can feel broken by a simple comment. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's people suck. You heard it here first,
And
folks.
I wasn't ready. I know we're told to start when you're not ready, just start. And that's so true. But I think certain people have different levels of ability. And that was just not my ability. My ability really is heavy in taking someone else's portrait and seeing their beautiful side of them, whoever they are, even a dog or cat,
Mm.
and not looking at myself and then having someone else comment on that. I've gained a lot more confidence. It's maybe in a few years I'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm so much better than 2025. But at in 2018, no, I was not ready for that. And it scared me. I wish that it didn't. I wish I didn't give up so easily.
Well, Marianne says your video quality is great, Elle, and it really it really is. And I always, when I'm interviewing someone, I love to go back and look at their first video that is available, which I did. I went back and looked at your first one, and it was already great. And I think it's really amazing how somebody who, you know, self-proclaimed shy person struggling with confidence could still push forward, and after having that unpleasant comment in 2018, and still create a great video that's like just straight off the bat helping people. I think it's so amazing. I think you're
I
amazing.
can't I can't watch, but I think it's a hair oil. And I think it's that one, and I put every oil I've ever had in my hair. My hair was like soaked in oil that night. But my voice and my the way I'm holding my mouth, I'm so tense. And that took a while. Like
Mm.
it still happens now if I'm really stressed out. I did a video a couple weeks ago, and I just had someone from a volunteer job position that I do, someone commented, well, not commented, someone was like kind of harassing me. And I had to get up from that moment with this person and go and film my video. And it was so hard for me. I had to keep pausing. The video's doing okay, but
Yeah.
I can see in my face. This is the underarm video, so you'll see it like a picture of me like in my thumbnail. And
Yeah.
just know that when I was taking that picture, I was just like moments before a bit teary because I'm a very sensitive person. Sorry. It's just who I am, and I'm getting
Mm.
stronger, but it's part of my personality, it's part of my core. And this person had nothing to do with YouTube, with my videos or anything. He just was mad at me about something with my position. And boy, whew, it was hard to film, but I told myself, you've got to do this. This is not the hardest thing you've been through or will be through in life or anybody's been through. Show your underarm. Take that thumbnail photo.
It's a very for someone who's already feeling a little vulnerable, it's a very vulnerable position to get into, showing the world your underarm.
I don't
Like
mind. Just
so, and something that I just think is absolutely remarkable is that your channel is a secret from everyone that you know in your life. And you don't have to go into much detail about why you've made that choice, but um, what I was wondering, because we have, you know, there's mixed messages around, is it a good idea to get people to watch your videos who aren't necessarily drawn to that channel? Like, some people will say, oh, send your video out to your friends and family and get them all to watch, to, you know, boost your views and all this sort of stuff. But that can be damaging to your channel because they're not actually the audience that your channel is aimed at. What has been your experience of, I guess you just let it kind of grow organically, yeah?
yes, you're right. There are mixed messages, and what you're saying is true. We were told initially get as many people to watch as possible and have them rewatch it, have them like have it play on repeat, like have your mom repeat, play it. And now we're being told in different avenues that don't have people watch your videos that aren't interested in the subject because it hurts your algorithm and hurts who it's going out to. So it is mixed. And I think with me, it didn't really matter because I didn't tell anybody, like you
Mm.
said. And it was, I can mention a little bit why I wanted to keep it a secret because first of all, don't really expect anything explosive to happen with me. There are YouTubers that are huge and they're on the news and they have a lot of drama and things. I don't think that's going to be my life. I think it's going to be low key, I hope. And second, I didn't want specific people in my life to know my business. I consider this work. And as much as I consider it like a passion, it's a passion job or passion role that I hope turns into a job. And I don't want people in my private life to be involved with that. They don't come to work with me. They don't come on my commute and they don't sit at my job with me. And I don't want them to be involved with this part of my life either. And a lot of the opinions and things like that, I just didn't feel comfortable with. So yeah, no one knows. One person knows accidentally, and I have basically threatened him. If he's on this live, I don't know, he's not saying anything. If he says anything to anyone ever,
I
and he knows.
feel
And I
like you
love him
can threaten
dearly.
people because I don't feel like you're scary.
um,
Delilah
yeah.
Rodriguez says, I fully agree, Elle. If my friends and family aren't interested in my content, why share that with them? Yeah, it's interesting because I have regrets about, like, I had my personal Instagram account that I don't really use for YouTube anymore, but I just like put all of my YouTube stuff on there in the beginning, and I'm like, oh, this is like so. Uh, it's not what that audience signed up for. They signed up for my personal stuff, and it's not the same thing. Um, yeah.
Yeah. See, I think most of the people in my life never really understood what I'm doing anyway with photography and being a freelancer and being a self-contracted person and doing all of my multimedia editing, all the work I do that basically got me prepared to do all the work behind making videos because it's not just this part. There's so much work, and anyone who does YouTube or any type of content knows there's a ton of admin and everything. So I was prepared for that, and they weren't really involved in that part of my life. And I think that's why I see it as like work, and they see it as social media. So for
Mm,
them, they're like, why do you think you need to be on social media to when they talk about someone else? And I already knew I was sensitive to that because I'm like, this is what I want to do.
yeah.
So I think I made the right choice because if certain people, my mom doesn't know. And
Mm,
if I eventually tell her, then she'll be like, "Oh, I see you made X amount of videos and you're taking this seriously." And
mm,
then I don't mind so much. But right now I'm okay with how it is.
yeah. I think that's really wise. And like, if you know the opinions, if there were negative opinions to come at you, and that would be affect the way you feel about it. Yeah, that seems like a very wise choice. And yeah, my mum watches everything. She'll be here saying,
I know. I see her in your lives, and I'm like, that's so fantastic.
she she loves it. She's obsessed. She's like my number one fan after my baby. Um, yeah. So the Creator Classroom said I had a family member ask me, and I said, "Do you have a YouTube channel?" And when they said no, I said, "Then my channel isn't for you." Yeah. It's so good to know who your audience is. I have a question for you. You won't believe that, considering we're doing an interview. Um, what was so like? Did you always have dreams of doing YouTube, like from a young age? How long? YouTube's like nearly in its 20th year. How long have you thought, oh, I'd love to do that? Did it come as a surprise to you or?
2016. So you- I think we all grew up with YouTube as like an instructional of some sort, I think, or entertainment. For me, it was
Mm,
instructional. Like, how do I do this? How do I fix this? And 2016 was when I was like, I want to help people with acne. I really, really want to help people. That was the main focus. The pandemic didn't happen yet, and I didn't lose a bunch of hair and have the nail issue that I have, which is nail ridging, and it's part of inflammation with COVID. Um, so those two other things that happened. But before that, I had such major skin issues, and I thought, I really want to help other people. There was this person who, she doesn't know me, but she's a Irish woman. Her name's Lindy, and she was the one who helped me with my first breakouts to calm them. She doesn't know this, but she taught me her oat paste. So I ground oats and put it on my skin, and it calmed my skin and calmed the itching. And that was where it started for me with YouTube and trying to get help for this. And I wanted to do the
mm.
same for other people.
Oh,
And
I
so
love that.
2016,
That's
she
so
she's like,
wonderful.
and she's still doing her vlogging. She's had a family, she's gotten married, she's getting married again, and had dogs, and had dogs pass away. Like, I've watched her all these years, and she's initially helped me with just that major thing. And I wish I could go and hug her, go to Ireland and give her a big hug.
Maybe you
Um,
can.
she'd be like, why is this giant hugging me? Get away from me. But that I want to do that for someone else. And I know people say even if it's just one person, but it could be just one person, and maybe that person in X amount of years will make videos to help people with their skin. That would be awesome if they came to me in 10 years and said, "You helped me."
Yeah. Have you told her? You said she doesn't
No,
know.
she's huge. She's a huge YouTuber. Like,
How
she
huge?
is. Gosh, I don't wanna mess up anything. I can't look it up, but
No, no,
she's
no.
one of the OGs. She's one of the OG
Sure,
vloggers.
sure. So she might not get it, but you could send her an email. Imagine that, how sweet-hearted that would be. And you never know. That's something that I have found with this channel. I've emailed a lot of people that I didn't expect to respond, who some of them have. Anyway,
Nice.
anyway,
That.
it's and you know, who knows, maybe it's their assistant or something, but anyway. Um, if anyone who's watching today has any questions, I should have said this earlier, but feel free to ask in the chat, and we'll get to them. But how do you, on a really practical one, how do you come up with video ideas?
That's a great question. Sometimes in the shower, I don't know why. In the bathroom, not necessarily doing anything specific in the bathroom, but I think because I'm washing my face and I'm thinking about that kind of thing, what's going on with my hair, what products I'm using that are helping. They're kind of That's kind of a space of, I'm thinking about it, and would this be something I want to share, and would it be effective to share this? And then it kind of grows from there because we have so many research tools. Just YouTube alone is a huge research tool, just searching acne or how to clear acne. And then I'm looking at other people's videos and seeing the top videos or the top watched videos, what they're talking about. Is that something that relates to me? Because I don't follow trends, and I know that's encouraged, but I don't. And I want to see what people are researching and what they're watching that relates to what I'm doing with myself. So whenever I make something, it's a natural progress, and it's something that isn't forced because I actually have been using this or doing this thing, and that is something that I can share with someone else. So that's kind of how the research goes. It will be an idea that pops in, and then I'll look it up and see if it's relative to what's happening right now. If a trend happened, I'd be shocked if it related to me. I hope that happens one day, but so far, not really. Nothing's really popped up.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, Marianne says best ideas always pop up in the shower because you're not using brain power for the showering steps. Yeah,
Love
I
that.
find in the shower that like my best ideas come to me in the shower or when I'm walking, like out walking, out in nature. And also when I was breastfeeding, I'd have so many great ideas. That's over now. Um, but yeah, like, and I guess it's that thing you're not using, like, your brain's not distracted with all sorts of other stuff. So you can get really clear. That's awesome. Louis asks, does keeping your channel private from your own IRL circles change how you think about parasocial relationships? That's an interesting question.
That's very interesting. I've never thought of that. Are
Hmm.
you asking if my relationships with several of the people who are in the chat right now are more special to me than the people in my real life? Maybe. Because you're not, I mean, I see Jennifer Marianne and Motif Music Studios. I see a bunch of people that I we kind of cross over several times, but I haven't met you in real life. But you all understand so much that I'm going through, and I learn from a lot of you. So, but we're not forced like the pressure of a coworker. We're not forced to pretend we like each other. I think we genuinely like each other and respect each other. Sorry to my coworkers, I don't dislike you.
Except
Please
for
don't
that
watch
one
this.
guy.
And one, several. Anyway, you know who you are. Um, yeah, it's a co-working relationship that's not forced, and I think we genuinely respect each other. And anytime there's several other people that are not here that I just love, and I look at them for advice, and sometimes they ask me for advice once in a while. So I think maybe they become really special and they become really important. That's something I'll think about for a while. Louis,
Mm.
thank you for asking that.
Well, Marianne says, I love Elle. She's one of my biggest supporters. Yeah.
um, I love Marianne. So there's been times like this, like February, March, I was having severe migraine. I have migraines and I've had them for a while. They ruin everything,
Mm.
and they ruin your schedule and your planning. And Marianne, her whole everything she's doing is about planning, and also a lot has changed where she's shared that it's not so much like don't be so stressed about it and give yourself some grace. And I noticed that a lot changing this past, like, I know you all are in winter, so we're entering summer. So for your summer and autumn, something maybe changed. I don't know if it changed in Marianne's life, but she was talking to us a lot about being more graceful towards yourself about your planning. And I've learned so much from her. So she doesn't probably know that, but she's such a guide for me. See, you don't we don't see each other day to day, but you're really good friends in so many ways.
Mm. It's so beautiful. I think it's just so beautiful. And you and I spoke like this for the first time ever a week ago. And I was like, this is so weird because I feel
It
like
was.
I know you. And I do. And it's like, it's a very interesting thing. Like, um, there's so much about social media that is fake and like that isn't real, and people put their best stuff on Instagram and all that sort of stuff, but I really, like, when I had my big break, I missed all of you. Like, I love it. It's so special. I think it's some very, very special friendships can come from this very strange
Absolutely.
part of the world. It's wonderful.
We missed you. We missed you too.
Oh.
And we knew why, because Emily entered the world and she needed her moms and she needed that time with her parents. But you missed the person. So yes, we watched you go through that whole experience with your partner, and it was so beautiful, and I do feel like I know you really well because of that. So Yeah, it was weird. Like last week, I thought this is totally normal, even though it was the first time we spoke
Yeah.
one on one.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Yeah, the Creator Classroom says, I agree with that, Elle. We choose our virtual friends. You've got a lot of fans in the chat here. Elle's the best,
Hi,
Delilah
Lila.
says.
Yes.
Hey, Elle. We've got some hey
Hey,
Elle's. We've known each other
Ellie.
since 2022. Oh, look, more love for Elle. She's a main supporter of my channel. So lovely. Hey, Snazzy Vegan Life's here,
Snazzy
late to the party.
vegan.
So good. How lovely. How wholesome and lovely. Yeah, so anyone who's just joined us, if you have any questions for Elle, drop them in the chat. And yeah, so what's some gear or tools that have made the biggest difference for you as a content creator?
Let's see. I am blank at that for some reason. I'm so sorry. Oh,
No,
well,
that's fine.
my Canon camera that is for work and taking portraits because I still take portraitures of children and families and couples. That is not something I use, and I'm always thinking I should try to use it, but the fear of anything happening to it just from overuse is too scary. It's worth more than my vehicle. So the
Oh
lens
wow.
itself. So it's for business, and it's scary to use that, but I should use it. The quality of my filming would bump up enormously. But I use a Canon G7X Mark II, and I know the Mark III came out, and that's part of the reason how I found Sean Cannell. He was doing videos on those products, which one is better, and so on. But I decided because of his videos to stick with the Mark II. So that's a really key for my videos, even though it's mostly a vlogging camera. I use it as a standalone camera a lot of the times, and I use my phone, obviously, when I go out and I'm doing a little bit here and there at a store. If I bring out a camera, people get really antsy. So obvious, I think everyone knows that. So the little phone, I do want to upgrade to a GoPro or something that's a little bit more hidden, but that will be for the future at some point. I really do like owning my own editing software, and there are softwares that you basically lease, like Adobe and stuff, but there's Adobe Premiere Elements, which is a huge step down from Premiere Pro, and which a lot of people would prefer to use, and I would too, but I own my Elements. So if something happens online, or they decide to up the price, which a lot of companies are doing now, a lot of apps are doing, it won't affect me because I own that software. So that's really key to me, and it really
Oh, great.
helps with the basics and a lot of extra text and things like fun things that you can do. Those are my key. Those are really key to me. Just having the camera right and having the editing software, and then I can do anything after that, like add lighting and learn how to incorporate new things here and there. But it was really just the software and the camera that were first, the most important.
Yeah, awesome. Creator Classroom asks, how nervous are you to be live?
I just breathed for the first time, so I just exhaled, literally. I don't know. Did you all see it? I just went.
You
So yeah, so I'm
you are
nervous.
doing
Jennifer,
amazing today. You are. You're amazing. You're amazing.
you guys are the best. First of all you all are friends, and that makes me like after I'm gonna cry. Like, sorry, Claire. Last week I did this
Oh,
to you when I was talking about acne. I started crying. I'm gonna
crying is
change the
welcome here.
subject.
I'm always crying. If you don't cry at least once a day, then something's wrong.
What? Okay, I'll be trying that out.
It's
Um,
I think Audrey Hepburn, I might be misquoting who said this here, but she said something about like tears, like crying being actually very good for, it's probably why you have beautiful bright eyes, lots of crying.
oh no, you froze for me for a moment there. I'm sorry.
Oh no, have we, are we
Nope,
freezing
I
here?
got I got you now. Sorry.
Okay,
I didn't
cool.
hear what you said about
Oh,
I didn't hear what you
I,
said about Audrey Hepburn.
Audrey Hepburn, she's got some quote. Someone look it up. Something about crying and like tears being really good for your eyes. She was a
Oh.
big advocate for crying. Yes. People are saying that you are doing great and that this is great practice when you're a guest on Marianne's on Marianne's
Yay.
channel. Um, James asks, hey, Miss Jill's here, Team Tears over here as well. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of criers here, so you're in very good company. And I think you're doing an incredible job for your first ever live stream. Question from James: have you looked at the Affinity suite of apps? Photo Designer, one-off payment, no Adobe tax.
No. What?
Very interesting. Something for people to look into.
One-off payment as in you pay once and then you own everything, or do you mean that Adobe's lovely monthly fee that they keep upping? Because I love Adobe, but their products are pricey.
Yes. Oh wow, you've got a lot of team crying. There's lots of crying going on.
Jennifer.
Yes. Awesome. That's great. It's nice to have a good camera. It's really nice to have a good microphone as well when it hasn't shat itself. So we all have videos that don't necessarily do super well with views. That's something that happens to all content creators at all levels, and what that looks like for everyone might be different. But what keeps you going if you have low views or growth slows down on your channel?
Oh yeah. There that it yeah. That was a
Yeah.
pause in my brain. It does feel really bad because I'm already not, I'm not up as high as some of the people I actually watch that I've been watching for years, and I see they put out a video and within minutes they are surpassed the lifespan of my videos with views and comments and support, and it is hard, and so I have to remind myself, which is really important, that not to compare myself to someone who's been doing this way, like since 2013, 14. I think 2016 are a lot of the YouTubers that I follow that they started then. Don't compare myself to them because they built something. They started from zero also, and they built something over years and years. And I try to remind myself of that. And then I look at people that have been working on this for the past couple of years, and I feel a little bit better that I'm more on the same scale as them. Because for me, I really want interaction. If anything, I want people to talk about what's going on with them. I want them to share what they're doing with whatever I'm talking about. Like if it's the underarm deodorant videos, share with me your favorite, or did this one that I'm talking about cause a reaction? Just talk to me about it. And if they're not talking to me, that's really where I feel kind of bad, because I'm like, why don't you want to talk to me?
Mm.
I want you to share that with me so I can learn from you. I get some of my ideas I actually get from the comments. I forgot to mention that. There's several ideas I've gotten from people commenting about whatever's going on with them.
Yeah.
So when I feel pretty low about that, sometimes every once in a while there'll be a random person, not random person, but a person I don't know will comment to me that I helped them with their skin. And that's happened quite a few times, and it just kept me alive, like kept me going, not alive, but kept me going on my channel for months and months. Someone that's very young, that's having severe breakouts, and they'll contact me on the side quietly and say, this, you really helped me. There's a few people I'm thinking of specifically, and it just, oh my gosh, I have to think about them and be like, even if it's just this one 10, 11, 12-year-old person, and they contact me and I helped them, that is amazing. I am like inspired for life by that one person. So
Yeah. It's really, really special. It's so special. I have totally had times where I've been like, oh man, I think I'm gonna just stop altogether. Like that's a feeling that comes up, and like it could be from stuff that's happening externally in life. But yeah, getting on our other channel, on the Mixaras, like my wife and I have shared our IVF journey, and journey to becoming a family, and we get messages from people that are like, you know, having a baby with my wife is not even legal in my country. We had to travel to another country for fertility treatment, and we don't know anyone, and you're like friends to us. And it's like, oh, even if videos, I'm going to get emotional, even videos that you like maybe think, oh, this is not got many views, you don't know who those, even if it's a video that gets like 20 views, you don't know who those people are and what kind of impact it might be having on their life. And I just like, oh, it's such an incredibly powerful thing. Yeah, I love it. So
And you
yeah, we
saying
can't
that,
stop.
yeah, no, don't you stop.
Don't you stop
Gonna,
either.
I'm gonna come to Australia and talk to you. Be like, what's going on? You just made me think of something that maybe the people, the 20 or so people that are not commenting, they're going through something a lot and they don't want to talk about it publicly, but maybe they're silently, it matters that we're talking to them. So
Yeah,
that makes me
we
feel,
just
that
don't
makes me
know.
feel a little better. Yeah.
We just don't know. We just don't know. And on the other thing is, we don't know when we're gonna make a video that's gonna, like, you know, take off and bring the rest of the others with it. Because I've interviewed a lot of people who have had that happen as well. You know, so I can see my baby starting to roll around over here. I I love chatting with you. It's so lovely, and thank you everyone so much for being here. If anyone has any questions before we wrap up, because I've got one final question for you. So while you're answering that, if anyone has any other questions that you're burning to ask Elle, drop them in the chat. I just wanted to mention, Delilah says, I see no progress on my channel at all, and it's so frustrating because my stats are great. According to what's being said, is good to see. It's so sad, but it's part of it. It is part of it. And you totally have no idea who's seeing those videos. Yeah. It's really tough though when you create stuff, especially when you're like, oh, this is my magnum opus, this is the best video ever, and then you're like, oh, it's a 10 out of 10 and no one saw it, and but it's very rarely zero. It's very rarely 0 views, so we don't know who that one person is. So my question for you, to wrap this delightful conversation up, is what would you tell someone who wants to start a YouTube channel but feels very nervous about it?
I think it's been said a lot, but you just have to start and do a little bit. And now we can do shorts. We don't have to do long form. Just start with a short, or start with a short long form video. Just do something where you're saying, hey, I mean, for me, it's a lot of products and application and trying to solve a problem. Try to figure out something in your life or your genre, your niche. I was going to say niche because I keep hearing people say niche, but I'm like, niche. Find something in your niche that is working for you, that you are passionate about or you know about, and just start making small videos about it. Don't worry about doing something epic. That was something I was really worried about. I have to have everything perfect. I have to say everything perfect, and it has to be like a big, giant amount of information. Just do small things and do only a couple minutes, and then build from there. Because
That's
otherwise,
awesome advice.
if you don't, you'll never get going, and you'll stumble yourself like I did. I really, yeah. Don't waste that time.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you,
such
Claire,
wonderful,
so,
wonderful
so
piece of
much.
advice to wrap up on. And thank you everyone so much for tuning in today and putting up with the technical issues I had on my part. Yeah, I appreciate you all so much. And thank you so much, Elle. Big round of applause for Elle for her first ever live stream. What an honour to get to host you. You're an absolute bloody legend. Think the world of you. And
Thank
thank
you,
you, everyone.
Claire.
Bye
Thank you,
bye.
everyone. Bye.